Color is an important aspect of modern-day film. An effective use of color will allow the filmmaker to incorporate aspects such as emotions, visual storytelling, and characterization into the film without the need for anything to be said verbally as a dialogue. This film festival will focus on how color is used to perform these functions as well as set the intended mood of the film. The first film we will be viewing in the festival is Red Desert for its effective use of color to illustrate the emotions that characters feel. The film highlights on the themes of alienation and anxiety. The main character, Juliana, is seen to be mentally disturbed through her constant need to isolate herself. In order to portray the inner loneliness that Juliana feels to the audience, the colors used in a majority of the scenes consist of extremely dull gray and black tones. However, the color red is used in the scene in the Red Room, and it signifies the freedom that Juliana feels while doing some seemingly promiscuous actions. The film Lost in Translation uses an analogous color scheme consisting of muted grays, blues, and purples. The film uses these in cooler tones to highlight the loneliness felt by the main characters Charlotte and Bob. These colors portray the inner gloomy solitude the characters feel despite being in a city known for its vibrant neon lights. It is only in the scenes where Charlotte and Bob meet that there are some warmer colors mixed in with the usual cooler shades. This is used to indicate the comfort that these two characters are able to find in each other's company. The film The Revenant uses a monochromatic color scheme made up of cool-tone blues and black. The film is about the protagonist Hugh Glass struggling his way to survive after being attacked by a vicious bear. The theme of survival is highlighted in this film through the use of such dull-toned colors. The cooler tones are used since the protagonist gets abandoned by his cold-hearted hunting crew and hence has to suffer through his injuries all on his own in the harsh landscape of the forest. The film Birdman deals with the themes of respect and reputation as well as existence. Regan's own existence is not what makes him famous, but it's a character of Birdman he used to play that is well known. Therefore, Regan's struggle to regain respect and build a reputation for himself through Broadway theater is what the movie discusses. His internal conflict and insecurities are portrayed through the interiors of his room. The colors consist mainly of muted shades of brown and seem to take up a rather monochromatic color scheme. In the last scene where his daughter looks up to see him, there is once again the use of very dismal, cool-toned colors such as grays and blues. This is to indicate the extent to which one has to suffer in order to gain stardom. The Shining makes use of colors red and blue in both cooler and warmer spectrums depending on the mood of the scene. The hotel's interior is painted in many shades of red and blue. The initial scenes while Jack's family moves into the hotel portray a rather cartoon-like shade of red in the lounge. However, the more sinister scenes use darker shades of red, such as the well-known elevator scene. Wendy and Danny are also consistently seen wearing bright shades of red and blue clothing, indicating their innocent nature, which contrasts with Jack's malevolence, which is depicted using darker colors of clothing. In the red shoes, the color red stands out from the other colors. This helps the audience to pay attention to the shoes worn by Victoria. This is crucial as these shoes contribute to one of the major plot twists towards the end of the film. Hence, in many scenes where the red shoes are worn, they add a pop of color to the scene, as the other objects are of the same muted grayish color. Red here not only signifies the choice Victoria has to make between her love for Julian or her love for art, but it also represents the color of blood as Victoria jumps to her death wearing these shoes. In All That Heaven Allows, the warmer spectrum of colors are used in the scenes depicting the romance between Carrie and Ron. Meanwhile, the cooler spectrum of colors are put to use in the scenes that involve Carrie's doubt about Ron fitting into her social class, as well as the scenes where Carrie and Ron are in disagreement. There is also a tetradic color scheme with the dominant color of red being used in the scene in which Carrie's daughter cries to her. This color scheme is selected to portray the choice that Carrie has to make between Ron and her children. The varied colors signify her indecisiveness on the issue. The film Django Unchained uses several types of color palettes such as complementary and analogous. Analogous color scheme can be noticed in the scene where Schultz explains to Django in the bar about what a bounty hunter does. The scheme uses muted colors like grays and dark browns, which emphasizes the hopeless and difficult situations that slaves faced. The scenes in which Django and Schultz travel on horses across wintry landscapes uses complementary color schemes to portray the warmth of the rising sun over the snow-capped mountains. The use of this scheme is visually pleasing and indicates the blossoming of a well-balanced friendship between Django and Schultz. The film Razi uses color to show the protagonist's character development from being an innocent college girl to a spy in training to working as as a field agent in Pakistan. The experiences that she undergoes throughout this process also contributes to this development of her character. The color of lighting and the background of the shots are part of this portrayal. The color also shows the protagonist compartmentalizing her marriage from her secret mission to extract information. Her scenes with her husband use colors from the warmer spectrum, while the scenes in which she does her spy work tends to use the cooler tones. The film Call Me By Your Name uses color to depict the highs and lows of the relationship between Elio and Oliver. The backgrounds in the film are often in nature and incorporate the warmer colors. Many scenes that contribute to Elio and Oliver's love story do not incorporate the color red, which is usually seen as the color of love. The film instead uses cool tone shades of blue to represent the warm and passionate love, which tells the audience that the love the characters have is so great and significant that the color red will not do any justice in representing it. The film 500 Days of Summer captures a highly realistic portrayal of a modern-day love story. Color here is used to express the vast differences between our perception of a romanticized love story and then the reality of what actually occurs. Warmer colors are used for the idealized scenes to indicate the loving nature in which the protagonist Tom views summer. However, in the realistic version, the colors are dull and muted. This depicts to the audience a disheartening reality through the dismal mood given off by the colors.